Jared, are you guys all logged in over there?
Hey, Melissa. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm logged in through my laptop, but I don't know how well this is going to work because sometimes the Wi-Fi drops out on me.
Okay. All right. Well, do you have can everyone just, whoever's at the library, can you just list off who's there listening on that end?
Scott.
Yeah.
I'm Bree's here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Jared.
Perfect.
And one JP Public.
One JP Public. Perfect. All right. This is our Ragamuffin meeting of the November 21st, 2023 Conservation Commission. I'll call this meeting to order with a quorum being present partially in the library and on Zoom. This meeting is being recorded for future broadcast and publishing on the town's various pages. The first item was accepting of meeting minutes, November 7th. Do we have enough people that were there?
I think so, because we had Scott, Skip, and Jared. Is that enough? No? Yeah, that should be enough.
Wait, who made the motion?
Skip made the motion. I seconded.
All those in favor by roll call, starting with there.
Langer and I.
Elko, aye. Clock, aye.
Oh, Williams said aye.
Gentilucci, aye.
All right, and Danza abstain. Perfect.
Oh, Glenda has to abstain too.
What?
You weren't here.
Oh, because you weren't
Your
here.
name's on it. Oh, that's absent, sorry. I abstain.
All right. So we have an application submission for an RDA, Town of Rutland, Miles Road. Is there anyone here that's to speak to that or to just introduce it?
I'm just gonna talk about it on
Perfect.
Velocity's behalf.
Yes, please.
So it's just a request for determination of applicability so that the DPW can clean out the culvert on Miles Road, near 19 Miles Road. It's right next to the DCR property. It's pretty full of sediment right at the outlet. I mean, the inlet is too, but on the side of the outlet, there is a wetland about 20 feet from the outlet, and there's sediment in the wetland as well, but it's just a dusting, so it's fine. I met with Mia on site, we looked at it, but the first 15 feet from the outlet of the culvert, there is 2 inches of sediment, so that's considered fill to DEP. So since it's in the buffer zone, we do need to have him do an RDA, which Chris was fine to do it. I actually did all the paperwork myself, which is
Don't
fine.
you love that?
Yeah, it was really easy. But yeah, he's just gonna use, I think he's gonna use a backhoe or something, machinery to scoop it out, but
That's all we own.
yeah.
No, yeah,
Right.
they did have the vacuum truck coming in.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think he's gonna create a little sump at the outlet, so that way that catches all of the sediment in the future, and then we can just scoop it out, so.
Yeah. That's that piece you and I walked right before the road trip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
What's a sump? Like a
Yeah,
collection
cash.
area?
Yes.
And where is this now?
Right at the Rochelle house, the brown house, the crop,
Miles Road.
Miles Road.
Between
Look at the
19 and
bottom.
21 miles.
Wait, the house that, which is it Greenways uses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The vacant house?
Yeah. Right there.
And
right
that's an
before.
outlet culvert?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're gonna have to repair that culvert, replace it. That will be
Is
a
it
totally
plastic?
different.
That's the one that flows the wrong way.
Yeah,
It's plastic, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, simple, easy fix.
Maintenance item.
Yeah.
I like how you, oh, New England Environmental. That's a nice ruler.
Yeah, that was Mia's.
So you measured
Yeah,
a couple
because
inches.
if it's only an inch or less, then it's not considered fill. If it's more than an inch, it's considered fill, and we should require them to get it out, so.
Mhm.
that was the function of measuring it. That's about it.
Where you said this has not been advertised yet?
It hasn't been advertised
Okay.
yet. Chris is away this week. So that's why I told him I would just talk to you guys about it because I figured it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But
Have at it.
And
I'll
that's
get it in
about
the
3.
paper, guys, for the December 5th meeting.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you, Bree. Appreciate that. That was our only
You want to do it
submission.
before then?
I'm sorry.
Does he want to do it right away?
No,
Okay,
it's okay with waiting.
okay.
I let him know that.
Because that's one of those before ground freezes, it really wouldn't be a.
Yeah.
Okay.
I let him know when I met with him, I'm like, we're kind of at like a pinch point with advertising. It might not be next week, it might be the 5th. So
That's-
he was okay with that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect. All right. And that was just to confirm the only application submission we have.
That's
for next
correct.
meeting?
Yes.
Perfect. Cool. All right. So we have no other public hearings. Old and new business was conservation agent update, discussion of site visit to Route 56 and other items as needed. So Bree, you want to take that off?
Did you guys see the site visit summary from Route 56 that I sent around? So there are berms that they've installed at the dam. And I'm pretty sure that was not on the original plan that they submitted to the commission. Because when I was there with SWICA, Maurice mentioned installing a berm right there, and the engineer said that that was not part of the original plan. So, there's that.
Talking about at the boat ramp, right?
And then there are berms on Miles Road, which I believe Mr. Hutchins is here to talk about that. I don't know if that was part of the original plan, but as I said in the site visit report, we should confirm with DOT if it is or isn't. Because if it isn't, and then we have grounds to ask DOT to remove it.
Did we ever get a set of plans?
Yeah. Last time.
We did.
Last time
Yes.
she sent them to us before last time.
Yep.
Okay,
They're on your email. And they're in the
right,
file.
but you didn't have a chance, you didn't look at those to see what they were saying about Miles?
No, because this was just yesterday that I did this site visit.
Yeah, because I know there was nothing in front of that boat ramp.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that was not part of the plan.
Excuse me, Brianna.
Yes,
Hi, Tracy Capellotti, Mass DOT District 3. No, that was not part of that. We continue to have basically daily problems with the silt fence, so we kept getting reprimanded about the silt fence because someone kept knocking it down. So we figured to get through the winter, that was the only way to do it. If you want it removed now, they'll remove it. But I can't guarantee you that fence is going to stay up or the protection's going to stay there because they're not going to be there monitoring that daily. So that's your decision, which way you want to go, unless you have another suggestion, because every time they fix it, it gets either trampled down, and the last time it was cut, it was actually physically cut with a knife.
So is it, okay, so it's just a stabilization issue. Bree, can you just go over again what your
It's,
background on this area has been?
they put an asphalt berm there to keep the discharge, the stormwater coming down the road from entering that parking lot or whatever you want to call that for the, that people use to fish, because every day or something, somebody was either trampling down the fence at the end, and they had to keep repairing it. So the only way we can get through winter, because there's not going to be a crew out there every day, is to do something like that, which it is a temporary measure. It would be removed in the spring.
Okay.
And that's the same as the one on Miles Road that was only put there for a temporary measure until the final asphalt is ready to be put down, because the final grades on the road, that whole cross section will be changing, the crown of the road will be changing. So in order to try to appease residents, that I think there's a resident there who had an issue with the water going on their property that was put there temporarily. So I'm not sure if you want them removed because they're not on the plan, we'll remove them.
But regardless, they'll be removed in the spring or when the project resumes.
Correct.
Okay. What are other commissioners' thoughts on that particular item?
I don't really have a problem with temporary berms. Where the boat ramp thing is, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, only question I asked, like I asked last time, is especially in that same area now, everything's basically done for the winter. I almost wonder if they should right as it comes across the crossing, if they should take those mulch bills out, so the water will actually drain off the road this winter. Because that every time it rains, that spot floods. So I almost wonder if we just let them take those out too, because there's really nothing disturbed there now, and there's nothing running into it.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Right,
At the dam.
right at the dam. I think that floods. I mean, every time it rains, there's standing foot of water there.
There is, yeah.
Which you kind of look at and go, with winter and stuff like that, I would almost see if just have them take them out. What do you think of that?
If the commission is comfortable with that, I'm just highlighting
Yeah, but what do you think
what
of
was
that?
part of the plan and what isn't, because
Hmm.
what Mia recommended
Mhm.
was to look at what was part of the original plan. So I'm
Mhm.
just highlighting the differences, whether they're good or bad,
Mhm.
you guys decide.
Hmm.
I actually,
No, I think it could go either way with removing erosion controls, but it's not.
Just in that one spot,
to me.
just in that one spot, though. I mean, there's nothing disturbed there at this point.
But the other advantage you have, is storm drains are down at grade.
That place floods
so
bad.
Well, you're gonna intercept a lot of that stuff going down there.
I don't know.
What does DOT want to do?
well,
Want to remove the ECBs or no?
No, not all of them. I'm just talking that one spot.
Yeah, at the dam.
I agree with Scott on that because it's going to be a hazard over the winter. And I
Yeah.
don't believe the controls were necessarily shown on the plan. I don't have it in front of me, but right at the dam there, I don't believe it showed those.
Yeah, I
Those were
think there was
put in
something in there.
after
It wasn't because when you first got on board, that's when we triple stacked them. But now there's nothing unstabilized right there. And I think versus a public safety hazard, I would rather see that was just right in that area disappear. I mean, there's nothing unstabilized to feed in. I mean, remember, I still walk it every day.
Hmm.
There's nothing
Yeah,
unstabilized.
that'll become an exciting piece of road,
Yeah.
ice build up there.
So, what do you think, Skip?
No, I think it should be like, let it flow.
Glenda?
Yeah, whatever will help with the stormwater.
I agree. You don't want to cause a safety hazard over the winter.
Yeah. So if they can, I know they're picking up stuff now because they finished doing stuff, but while they're still bouncing around, if they can take those just in that area, if they can get those out of there, I think that would be a big help.
DPW has enough problem spots in town that they
Yeah.
keep visiting. There's no need to add one.
True.
Right.
Would someone like to mark out with paint or meet somebody out there to show exactly where you want this removed?
I guide rail on both sides because that follows that guide rail on both sides. Just take those right there out. I mean, I can paint marks on it too. I mean, I can meet somebody. I don't care.
Okay.
I mean, either way, there's guide rails on both sides of that where it interlocks up against, just right across that dam area.
Mhm.
So that I would take that piece right out.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I apologize. I sent a late letter basically requesting a continuance because I know you were looking for a plan for tonight, but basically I can read the letter because again, I don't think many or any of you saw it yet. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
saw Tracy, but you can read it.
I'm sorry.
This is Bree speaking. I saw the letter, but you can read it if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, it addresses the commission and pursuant to continued conversation relative to the ongoing roadway reconstruction project on Route 56, Palmagussit Road, we would like to offer the following. Mass DOT is working to respond to the most recent correspondence, which was the letter dated 11/14/23. 1 second. And site inspection conversation 11/20/23, which was yesterday, relative to issues that the commission would like addressed. And considering the most recent request to investigate the commission's concern regarding a hydraulic connection of the hydrology being severed on Miles Road due to the reconstruction, we hereby request an extension of time to properly respond to all current environmental concerns of the commission that are within the project limits. This extension will also allow time for a requested site visit with DEP, which we are working to schedule for next week. So I'm working with Heidi to schedule that. So Heidi, Mia, and I think there may be another 1 or 2 people will come out, and we're looking somewhere between Wednesday and Friday, but Heidi needs to get back to me tomorrow. So I can let you know what works on their end, and hopefully Brianna, and if any of the commission members want to be there, that will work on your end.
That's fine.
Well,
Only Friday is kind of work.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
Yeah, that's what I asked. I did tell Heidi that Friday is the best day for you and that we already have a scheduled 8 o'clock site visit that you and Adele were planning to do, so that would actually work well.
are you talking, is it Heidi Davis?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yep, I just met her last week. Okay. I mean, I trust anything that Heidi and Mia say, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else on the 56 that we wanted to talk about tonight while DOT is here?
I mean, I think I just wanna say that I don't see the hydrology being cut off to that wetland.
Yeah, can we
I
discuss
didn't know
that?
that was a concern last meeting, but
Mhm.
I don't see that, so.
Also, I just wanted to remind the commission that the road itself, again, is not at its final configuration as far as the cross section. So, the slope is going to be changing, the crown is going to be changing. So, what you're seeing for water right now may not, I'm sure it's not all going in the same exact place that it is intended to go in the finished condition. But that's something that, we'll have the plans with us next week and we can, put them on the tailgate or something and look at that. And, if there's questions, I can explain. We could go through that, if there's any sections you're questioning or concerned about.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So I think just keep us updated on when the site visit will happen. We talked about moving those erosion controls where the guardrails are. Is there anything else that we needed to follow up on tonight?
How about that? I mean, we talked about it before, that cross culvert that's actually at the rail trail. That was never reconnected. That was never reconnected in it. That was a balancing act that was done when they put the rail trail in, and that was never reconnected to it. It's just sitting there. Just I don't even know if DOT knows about it.
Roger, I believe, is familiar with it because
Okay.
I mentioned something to him.
Yeah.
So we can get more information on that or his feeling on that, and
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll be there next week also.
yeah, because that was one of those when they originally put that rail trail in because they looked at it how it did it. So they put a cross culvert under the road to direct it back in and that because it created a huge issue. And it's like, okay. And it's like, it's just sitting there going, okay, is that in the, and it's tough to see even in the final plan if they ever even knew it was there and the purpose of it.
I don't know. I mean, we
Right.
won't be doing anything outside of our limit of work for this project, but I don't know.
It's inside the limit of work.
Okay. Are
It's
you
inside, it's
talking
inside the
about
limit of work. It is.
partway down the hill on the left, there's that
Yep,
like
right before.
inlet structure that was kind of open in the front?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Nope. This is if you're coming down from the center of town, right before you cross the rail trail tunnel on the left-hand side, there's a culvert that sits off the road 10 feet, about 10 feet. And that was a balancing one that took the water from the left-hand side of the road and put it on the right-hand side of the road into a big sedimentation pond. So it would go back out in. And that was all part of the amount of water that was running the wrong way.
When they put the tunnel in, they were diverting all of the water to one side instead of maintaining a split. And that culvert was installed to maintain the balance of flow from one, off the roadway to either side of the rail trail. They were underneath the Route 56 there.
Okay, so can we look at that next week also?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's documentation on the DEP website, I believe, on that. You could
We can show it to them.
take a look at, for the advance, so you get some kind of advance notice anyway.
Okay, I'm just asking Mike right now from Marias Concrete if he's going to be on site tomorrow. That maybe someone could meet him to
Yeah, I'll meet him.
go over the limit of what you want removed at
Okay.
the dam.
Yeah, I get
Approach control.
that's fine. I'm around.
I'm just waiting for him to respond.
You're around.
I'm around as long as it's not 8 o'clock in the morning.
So that's no be it.
As we wait for that, was there anything else? I don't think I saw anything else on your site visit report, Bree, but anything we wanted to pin down tonight?
Over, the outlets. I took a picture of it. It's hard to describe, but it's across 56 and it's leading into that wetland. You know where I'm talking
Are you
about?
by the ball field?
Yes, but it's in between the ball field and Miles Road.
Yes.
So there's a culvert there.
Yes.
So I had a question of whether or not that culvert was going to be tied into the whole drainage system for the project. Because I know that the commission has been concerned about drainage connections, so.
Right.
Just for these culvert or inlet areas that you're talking about, have you checked the plan to see what it's doing in the final configuration?
Because this was just something that came up yesterday and I had multiple site visits yesterday. I couldn't check the plans.
Okay, I just didn't know if you had looked, so we can, again, it's just easier to be out there and looking at the plans and relate it to, what we're looking at.
I think if I'm thinking of the right one, I think that does get reconnected.
It does.
To the roadway
Because
drainage system. I'm trying to find it now, but when I looked at the plans a couple of weeks ago, I remember looking for that one specifically, and I believe it does get reconnected.
Yeah, because they redid a lot of that one. That one's always been a trouble spot.
So that there's even more evidence that
Yes.
the wetland's not going to be choked
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Right.
Is pretty
Right.
much the point of that.
Right.
Yeah, we're talking west side of the road, just north of the ball field, south of Miles Road. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yep.
And the wetlands like due west of
Yes.
that outfall. Yeah.
That's-
Yeah. It's getting rebuilt. And,
Okay.
And that runoff will get directed in the same path or same direction. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So a quarter way down the hill, it takes everything from that side of the road and shoots to the other side.
Yep.
Okay.
So I've reached out to Mike and also Andy from Marias. I know Andy had something going on this evening, so I'm just waiting to see if one of them answer me, but I'm sure either if you mark it on the roadway, I'm sure at least Roger or Chris Hall could meet you there.
Okay.
Is there a time that works good on your end?
And I mean, apparently, I can give you my number and they can call me. I mean, I literally live right there. I mean, I'll probably be at my house until 10, but it's anytime before 10.
Okay, and 1 second. Okay, and what's the number?
508-259-9808.
Is this tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow, just to take the,
And I'm sorry, you said 508?
yes.
Okay, 259-9808.
Yep, and I'll show him that cross culvert we were talking about too, so he knows. So when you get, so if we're not there next week, when you guys all walk, he at least knows what we're talking about.
Okay,
Just give me a call.
All right. Anything else?
No,
I'm good.
All right, so I think that Tracy and Dell, thanks for coming to speak with us tonight. We'll follow up within the next 2 weeks with those site visits and just kind of keep us posted on your end as you have been.
sure. And I know, again, I should be able to pin down a time and date for next week with Heidi
Great.
tomorrow. And I'll reach out, let you know. And yeah, I think this will be good to just have everybody meet on site and walk through things.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, thank you. Happy
Have a good one.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
You too. Bree, you did a couple other site visits. Did you want to go over those?
Melissa, before we
Oh.
move on, we
Yeah.
have a member from the public that wanted to speak
Sure.
here. Go ahead, sir.
John Hutchins from 8 Mile Road.
Okay.
I'd like to reiterate the concern about the stormwater running off my property. Hasn't been much rain since we last met, but that little bit we did have running onto the property. And I'd like to go a little further. I've asked Roger Weeks early on, when the water was cascading into my yard, I asked him about a curbing and he said, definitely not, it's not in the plan. That's what he told me at the time. And since then, as you know, they put the berm in, what I took exception to, but they put it on both sides of the road. And the reason why I say that is because before all this construction started, my land was higher than the road, and on the other side of the road, it was lower than the road. And there was a country drain on the other side of the road going into that area, which is rather a natural runoff all the way down to Fair Pond. It's natural. So I do have that concern about that berm being all the way on.
I think
And
they're
they're
talking,
treating it like a wetland. It's all plastic, black plastic all along there.
Oh, and she said that's a temporary berm.
Mhm.
Those are coming back out on final pavement.
Is that right? Yeah.
That's what she said.
Is that both sides or one side? Or? Okay.
We can-
both sides.
Sounds like both sides.
Yeah.
Just like they put a couple temporaries up on the other side, on regular on 56,
Yeah.
just for the winter to catch.
Oh, that right? Yeah. Okay.
So their plan is, I mean, we can look at plans and whatever and that, but again, I kind of what they're saying is until they get a final pitch on the road, which I understand what you're saying. If you're putting this much pavement, how are they going to pitch it? Maybe they're going to put more. You don't know.
And as I stand there looking out, I see it's pitched towards my house,
Right.
and that's a.
And
Well,
basically, I mean, I'm not going to interpret, but kind of what she was saying is until they get the final layer on it,
Yeah,
they're not going to know.
I can't imagine how they're going to do it, but yeah. The other thing I just see the stormwater runoff a real concern in that whole area, Palmagussit Road. I go back to the original what the state said they were going to accomplish. One of them was drainage.
The biggest problem they've had is until whatever, all the storm drains they put in were still raised. So nothing was going in them.
Okay, let me ask you about that. Now, these drains were put in, these weren't the old drains
No,
that they,
that's new.
all right. Now, you and I talked, 2 weeks ago
Mhm.
regarding the drains and you mentioned, and I understand that, they're raised because they're
Right.
waiting for the final coat. However, the one next to the Rutland Market on the north side of the
Yeah.
Rutland Market driveway, the water comes across Palmagussit Road long before it gets to that. And even with a finished coat on it.
But again, until they put the pictures on them, you don't know where it's going.
There's no crown in the
There's no
road.
Yeah,
crown.
right.
It's a flat road. And a small crown makes a big difference because it pushes right to the curb.
Yeah,
And the fact is, like we said, right now is it's flat, plus they're raised or, to a point, so you're not catching.
mhm.
So they're finished, again, until they put a finish down, you don't know what it's gonna look like,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
But have you seen them? Have you looked at those,
Yeah,
storm drains? They've been dropped.
So, some of them, they dropped some,
yeah, I
of them.
know some of them were, yeah.
They dropped some of them,
Yeah.
right
So
where
they're
you.
trying to utilize, trying to mitigate as much as they
So
can.
they've
Right.
dropped some of the grades
Some
down.
of them they've already,
Oh,
right,
that's
because
good.
it's in his area.
Okay, good.
There's a country drain on the south side of Miles Road, all along there, from the ball field
Mm-hmm.
down to Miles Road. There's a country drain there. But once you make that turn onto Miles Road, that's where the
Mm-hmm.
berm was put in.
Yeah, and that's the problem is the berms until everything's online, all they do is keep the water in the road, which makes it twice as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for the people down the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, you're lucky you're uphill.
You're gonna get your feet wet.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You know what? The first time it snows and the plows push it over, it'll be fine.
Yeah. I hope so.
As long as you don't try mowing it in the spring.
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't mow the chunks.
But it is quite a mess. I mean, all the way from up at Westview, all the way down,
Yeah.
Fair Pond, I mean, there's a serious problem with stormwater drainage.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
Right. There's a lot of water. It's a big hill.
Yeah, it is. And it's a tremendous amount just starting out right up there at Westview.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, it all
because-
comes out of that street.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's amazing what comes out of that
So
street.
I don't know what,
Again, until they finish it,
yeah,
and that's when they're gonna have to watch it. And if it's wrong, that's when they have to go back at it.
yeah.
It's problem is that's the problem with the lengthy project. Because now you're gonna wait, because guess what? They're gonna do the dam and everything next year first.
Yeah, right,
The last thing they're doing is paving.
Yeah.
right.
So you have another year, there's another year of this.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask,
Hold
so
on.
Mike isn't available tomorrow, so would someone be able to meet down there at 10?
Tomorrow? Yeah.
Yes.
Who am I meeting?
I'm sorry?
We're gonna meet Mike tomorrow at 10?
Nope, I will be there.
Oh, yeah. I'll meet you. I'll meet you at the boat ramp.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy.
So again, until it gets finished, that's the
Yeah, yeah.
It's the nature of construction.
nature.
unfortunately.
It's like watching them build a house. It looks terrible till they paint it.
Yeah.
So
So it sounds like
I don't know.
things that we've kind of brought up before.
To prevent the water from going into the yard or what, I don't know.
I see, I haven't looked at yours. There's no slate berm in front of yours? They didn't
No,
put
This
a,
is
No, my driveway, when they raised the road, it's higher than the driveway now. It was never that high. It never at all. It was flush.
they could put that.
They do like an asphalt patch there.
Yeah,
make it
just
temporary.
that,
Just a bump on.
Just a
in the road
bump.
from-
Yeah.
just the
from
bump,
the berm.
Yep.
like a speed, like that inch and a half speed bump.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Keep the
Just
water in the
prevent
road.
the water from going
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
oh, even that, if I'm talking to her tomorrow, I can go up there. I don't care.
Okay, yeah.
And just show her and go, okay, because again, an inch to do a mini speed bump is a name for it. It's almost like a Cape Cod curb.
It's
Yeah,
But you-
no, let's look at those tomorrow and
Yeah.
I'll bring or have someone, one of the Rogers assistants there with a set of plans.
Yeah, because it's just one of those. I mean, that could mitigate a lot, even if it's temporarily, if it's coming right down you.
Right.
Because right now it's feeding your driveway, and just putting an inch or something right there might stop most
That's
of
right,
it.
yeah.
All right, so let's get some eyes on that tomorrow. And then Scott, will you just send your usual update, I guess, afterwards? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Perfect.
You know,
I mean,
All right.
Joseph's coming with me.
Nice.
Dad's coming.
Dad's coming.
Dad's coming.
I won't expect Dad to write a report though. All right. Is there anything else on 56? Thank you for coming in. I know I'm not physically there to say thank you, so it's
We're
weird,
off the
but
team tomorrow. We'll be around.
Okay.
And
Good,
so
thank you.
Roger will be there.
Yep.
DOT will be there, and us two handsome dudes.
Okay.
Thank you.
perfect. Thanks. Okay. So that seems to be the wrap up for 56. Bree, do you have other agent updates?
I met Ian Duncan, about the bridge. But he needs to excavate soil to see how deep the organic soil goes down, which is gonna be pretty deep next to our river. So I told him that just for the excavation, nothing else, there needs to be an RDA. So he's on board with that. I think we're gonna get that through to the December 5th meeting is my understanding, but that's all that will be for.
What is his intention about another covered bridge or open bridge this time?
Another bridge.
Just an open bridge.
Yeah,
On
so I
foot.
think he's
We'll see you
gonna,
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
have a good night, John.
Yes, thank you.
he'll have the covered bridge and then he's gonna build like a new,
Next to it?
yeah, it's actually gonna be on the right-hand side. If you're looking at.
Really?
Going to his
Okay.
property, it's gonna be on the right-hand side.
Oh,
He's come to us before, right?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you walk on the covered bridge. And it can-
Yeah.
And most time to get there, you drive through the river.
Yeah.
No, Scott used to drive his oil truck through the river to get up there.
Did.
Crazy.
That was the access point. It was weird.
It's still, what did they say? They still have it as emergency
Yes.
in case the bridge gives way.
Mhm.
All right. Bria, was there another one?
Yeah, you
There
did this
was.
one.
Rutland Heights?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, I walked the property with Laurel and with Ron. Of Haley Ward yesterday. And I looked at all the detention basins, there's 4. They only have 1 built right now. But the other 3 are not built just yet, but just inspected the erosion controls because Peter wanted me to do that before winter. Everything's fine.
Some of them still 5 feet above ground.
Yes.
It's the best erosion.
That's the best
control,
erosion
right?
control.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome. So nothing needs to be fixed on that or follow-ups that we need to do?
No, nothing needs.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Even better. All right. Any other agent updates?
Randy Jordan. Everybody should know about Randy Jordan.
What's he up
Wants
to? I heard this coming through the grapevine.
He wants to move along with this manure pipeline.
Okay.
Which is fine. But we need the permit. I've spoken with NRCS. NRCS agrees that he needs a permit from us and from DCR. So we're gonna have a meeting on December 4th to figure it out.
So when this sewer line goes to hell, pollutes the swamp down there, you can blame that all on the.
Yeah, you don't stand outside.
Wait, what does he want to do exactly? Yeah.
So he wants to.
Free.
So he owns property on both sides of 60, is that
68.
68. And what he's doing right now is he's trucking big trucks of manure from the property that's next to the rail trail to the one that's across the street on 68, right?
Okay.
And it's not just, you've been there?
Yes.
It's up on top of the hill.
Yes, I know.
It's Overlook Road.
I know.
It's not 10 feet off the road.
No, I know. I know, and he didn't want to do a permit. But he's gonna need to do a permit,
Mhm.
so. What?
He wants to go through a culvert though?
Not anymore.
Oh,
That is not gonna happen.
what's he want
That's
to, okay.
not gonna happen.
So how's he
Not
want,
that way.
how's he want to do it?
So that was the plan in September.
Right.
We met in September and I told him that's not possible. He has now sent me a plan, kind of, for a directional boring under 68 and under Mushkapog Brook. But you also have to consider that, like you said, his property is way up on a hill. I walk that rail trail all the time. There's a ton of trees. You're gonna have to take down a lot of trees to put this directional boring in. So it's gonna be a pretty involved NOI.
Pretty engineered too, I would think. How big is the pipe? Do you know?
Huh?
How big is the pipe?
At least
It's still very rough.
Okay.
And he.
Okay, well, guess what? Keep presenting.
So. DCR, so Tristan from DCR, Bob Purcell from NRCS, me, Austin, Randy. And Randy has a friend who works in Tetra Tech.
It's
We're
okay.
all, we're all gonna meet on December 4th.
At what time?
9 AM
That where?
in Austin's office.
Oh, really?
I think it's Austin's office because my office is definitely not.
What's December 4th? What day is it?
It's a Monday.
Monday.
December 3rd.
So actually, our meeting is gonna be the next day. So I'll be.
Yeah, so you'll have an update for us.
Hmm.
I'd have a hard time leaving DEP and reason let that go through. You can't put a sewer line through water
I know.
without putting it, well, whatever. If
I think Peter should be there also at this meeting. Really do.
Who?
Peter, the chairman of our.
Crane.
He's been copied
Yeah.
on the email.
Yeah, he knows about it, so.
And
Again, it's just gonna be a lot of engineering improvements.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll
Something-
have an update for the next meeting then. Yes. All right.
December 4th is not an approval.
No, it's a presentation.
Perfect. Yeah.
It's pretty much me and NRCS and DCR telling Randy that we're not just gonna give him a letter, he needs to apply for a permit.
Mhm.
That's what the meeting pretty much is.
He's gonna have to do all the studies
Yes.
relative to obtaining a permit.
So very expensive, they just handed.
That's what that's about.
Yeah.
Well,
And this is just because he doesn't want to truck it anymore?
well, think about it, it's fast.
Yeah, he'd be pumping it essentially, right?
Brings the trucks over, then he has to like
Happy to feed a lot of it.
drive the trucks, him or whoever works for him has to drive the trucks onto the soil, so it prevents soil compaction and there's some good benefits to it. But we just have to go about it the right way and take necessary steps.
The other benefit that'll occur on that, is all the sludge coming out of digesting right through the same pipe.
All right, well, let's wait for our next meeting. Maybe we'll have it as an actual agenda item if Peter's okay with that. So we can have a discussion and then see what the current plan is.
Can you, before next meeting, there are 2 houses we looked at on Main Street. 2 that were in the buffer zone.
Oh, yeah.
One, like my very first meeting.
Yes.
with you guys.
Yeah, the 2 next door to each other.
Yep,
Looks like they're all blowing leaves and everything else, so they're maintaining it.
they're blowing leaves into the.
Out of it, out of it.
Oh, out of
So
it.
they're maintaining it.
Did we tell
We told them they can't
them not
maintain
to
it.
maintain
We
it?
said you
Is
could
this-
leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
They
It's-
just need to leave it.
You need to leave, if you want to put your hammocks and stuff on leaves, but if you're maintaining it, you're gonna grow grass. It's gonna come.
Yeah.
So if
Needs
in
to
your out and abouts,
Mhm.
you might want to take a peek.
Was it just that one house that I visited or the neighbors?
I only can notice the first one that had the hammocks. The second one, you're going too fast by the time you see.
They,
But we told them we're gonna follow up in December,
Yeah.
end of the year anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I did, I emailed her,
Right.
but I'll
Just-
email her again and go there.
Yeah, just one of those, because again, you don't,
They're
Yeah.
blowing leaves
out of it.
Out of
so they're
the wet-
maintaining.
out of the wetlands.
Yeah, because don't forget it was wetlands right there,
These are the 2 houses at the base of
right before you hit Bryce.
Bryce. Okay. Yep.
And that is one of those, and you drive by and you go, you see dirt, you go, Shouldn't be seeing dirt.
No, should be seeing leaves.
Should be seeing leaves. And again, it's not whatever, but it's just, you want to make sure they're. Guess what? If I leave a hammock,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
but
So I had one, also, did you look at, Susie's driveway? He's putting in off miles.
No, I just heard about that though.
You might want to look at that.
What do you know, like where?
it's in.
It's right before
Oh,
the rail trail parking
yeah.
lot on the left.
Yeah, that, there's a permit for that.
I know. But
Oh,
did you do an inspection on it?
no,
Yeah, you might want to.
I have
He's
not
going
had
to town.
time.
It's paved, I thought. Isn't it paved?
God, no.
But they've
No,
already
it's
started
not bad.
They
working.
just cleared it.
Oh,
Was that a wetland crossing?
No, it runs
No,
parallel.
No,
it runs parallel and he actually moved it to the
Yeah.
west.
There's a
yeah,
wall
Hmm.
that delineates pretty much the wetland from the highland.
Hmm.
Pretty
He's-
Because it got,
He's on the good side of it.
it got significantly smaller.
yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
The disturbance got smaller and the replication area got smaller because of how they moved it. And that was walked in when it was fully untouched.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
under the limit.
no,
Right.
I
Yep.
know DCR wants to inspect that too,
Hmm.
so,
Maybe you can go up.
yeah, sounds good. When was that approved?
Mm,
When does that come?
Within the last year.
yes,
It's
So
at
it's
least a
recent.
year.
Yeah, it's within the last
Yeah.
year. And it was walked twice and the driveway was moved for the second one.
yeah.
Because it got smaller instead of them having to do something.
Okay,
Yeah, the first walk was kind of tough.
Yeah.
yeah, I know Alan from DCR wanted to check on that.
Just, ugh. I was like,
You don't
"Ew,
like it?
What's that?
Alan Rantel.
Yeah,
Gross, right before the rail. Just
All right,
like,
anything else in your passing bys you think we should look at? Anyone?
No.
No.
Any other agent updates?
So when, are you gonna email so everybody knows when your meetings are on these
She is.
various sites? Do you normally tell us that?
She is.
In an
Yeah.
email?
She is. Every.
Okay, I'm asking her, not you. God,
Read your email.
you just need to settle down over there. You're supposed to be taking minutes.
Live. We don't have to.
yes,
You normally tell us like when and where you're going and all that.
I mean, I say the location,
Mhm.
where I'm going and the time that I'm going.
Okay, because I think I saw that email.
And I would assume that if anybody's interested, they say, I wanna come to the 9 AM, where are you meeting?
Mhm.
And then I'll respond.
Just email you. Do we have your cell phone too? You could get your cell phone.
I think that was sent via email too. I want to say.
I don't have it. Sorry. I've been delinquent.
I'm putting in the minutes that Glenda's not reading her emails.
I do. I have read them. You did it today.
All right, anything else for agent updates?
I can share it with you, Glenda.
Thank you, Jared. You're so nice. Everyone else is picking on me.
All right. So the second one was application procedures, discussion of procedure for new applicants with our agent. Bree, do you have anything on this, or was this something that Peter was putting together?
Yeah.
Peter, okay. Are we
Yeah.
good to, is there anything we wanted to discuss tonight, or are we good to wait for him then? I think that's more appropriate.
Peter.
Okay.
Knock yourself in the head.
Hate for you.
All right. Revised special conditions, review changes to special conditions. Was there anything to discuss on that tonight? I think, Bree, was it you who sent something around?
No, so essentially at the last meeting, Melissa, they decided to take the as-built checklist and just kind
Oh,
of
okay.
make it into a special condition. So I had revised that. Peter asked me to upload the special conditions to the SharePoint.
Right. Okay.
So I did add that as a condition. So basically it's just whether or not you guys agree with adopting the new set of conditions.
Okay. Do we want to hold on this one too? One, because we're kind of down some technology and Peter
Mhm.
is absent.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right,
No
cool.
rush to improve that.
No.
Yeah. And I think the same goes for wetlands bylaw. So we will continue that discussion unless there's something that you guys have in
Mhm.
person.
No,
All right.
we're good.
Where are you guys sitting right now? I'm just curious. Did you get in the room?
What room is this?
No,
We're in the
sitting
other
outside.
room.
We're in the Calkins room.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That was very random. I was just curious.
It's important. No, it's important. All right. Is there any members of the public? I don't see any on Zoom.
No, nobody on Zoom.
No one loves
Right.
us
Here.
Okay.
I do.
All right. Is there any other business for tonight?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call?
Clock eye.
Oh, wow.
Aye.
Sorry. Going that way now?
Langer and I.
Are you harboring your inner Peter here?
Yeah.
Gentilucci.
Peter.
Was that everyone?
That's everyone.
I think so.
All right. Kansas, I. We are adjourned at 6:56.